There's some very fundamental things about Ryan that you need to understand in order to get better, right? Now, one of them is like, you got your various attributes of Ryan. Your biggest weapon right now is your shield, right? That's your main purpose. It's not damage, it's not anything else, it's just your shield. The longer you can keep that up, the least amount of times you can have it break, the better, right? So let's take a look at the enemy team. Alright, his thing. So you want to use your shield to block significant uh, damage, significant abilities, right? So here, in this case, you'd want to look out for Anna's sleeps, nades, Ash's dynamite, uh, obviously Reinhardt shatters, Symmetra's, what is it, right click, right? And hypothetically, let's say that they had a Roadhog. You'd want to watch out for his hooks and, dynamite and all that. So you really want to save your shield for that, and only for that. Everything else, you got like how much HP? Like 600 HP? 500 HP? That's more than enough for you to take symmetric left click, an orb compared to getting an anti or compared to getting a dynamite feeding the Ash, right? His his second best utility is his hammer, right? Does what, 75 damage or something? And it's very technical. It's not as easy as other people make it seem, and we'll talk about that here in a bit. So that's basically what you want to look at, right? That's what you want to seek after. Okay, so let's just see how.
Ready. Eyes on the bad guys.
Okay, so we said to go left side. There's a hug. Oh, it's rewind. Okay,
Attackers incoming.
so go left.
Defend
Pin
objective
in.
A.
Okay. Generally in this map, it's okay to go here, but the biggest issue
Eyes on the back.
is that choke right here. That's really gonna mess you up. If they have they have a Junkrat Hanzo, something like that, where it can just like melt you through choke and force you to peel back, you're done. Right? Generally, you would want to go through main, play behind the statue, and then push forward. But let's just see how it goes. So there's a hog behind. There's just not much you could have done about that. Fire strike. Okay, we fire strike the turret, which is fine, except for the fact that we could have fire struck these people over here. Watch this. Ready? So for me, it's like if I see a turret, yeah, I'm gonna worry about it, but I'm not gonna stress. Like instead of a fire strike landing on that turret, you had the opportunity to fire strike here, and if you're lucky enough, you would have gotten three, right? Just save it. You would have gotten three. Okay, so remember to use your fire strike as most effectively. You only got one every 6 seconds, so if you get more value hitting these three people than hitting one turret, right? Alright, so we do see here. Okay, so there's a hog behind you. You want to look out for those for flankers and stuff, and there does seem to be a Lens behind for some reason. It's kind of weird. I don't know who that is, but whatever. Okay, so here you'd want to use your like sound at all times. Have it on max volume if you can. And here I would have just 180'd and then pinned him, right? You don't know that there's a Winston over here unless you saw that bubble getting placed down, but that should be your play here. If you did hear him, if you didn't, it's like no big deal. It's something you'll pick up once you keep playing. So let's see what you do. You do hear him, which is amazing. It's really good. You swing at him, one, two, and you charge. Now, yeah, that's fine. That's pretty good for what you're doing. What's going on here? there you go. Okay. So you miss your pen. Uh, there's a way. Okay, so with your charge, it's very interesting. You can do a couple of different things with it. So you can, you got your regular, forward charge. I should probably set the cooldown a little bit low. But you can also do a little hop with your swing. You see how much distance I got? Alright, now look at this. I would have been right there. And you can do this, right? You can do this the whole time. You'll get more coverage. And you can do a little pin. Now what it does, whenever you pin, it gives you a little delay, right? So instead of going straight head on, you have a little pause, but you're still charging, right? So you're basically staying in motion while charging, which is not how it's supposed to be. Your regular charge, you'll go from this point to that point, but with this, you'll get a different angle. You catch them by surprise, and you get the added addition that you can, what's it called? You can like basically activate it right as you're landing on the ground from your jump. Right. You can also do this with your shatter. Right. So swing, and like that. It is a little bit more. It's a lot more punchable. My another Rain, he could just put the shield up real quick, but it's something you should keep in mind. And I'll like cut to that section, and I'll come back to this. Okay, so back to this. So if you use that tactic, yeah, you might have been able to pin him. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, you might have been able to pin him. It's fine. Practice that. Okay. Fire strike. Whenever he hooks, you want to look out for those eggs. So you don't want to. In this situation, there's some situations where you don't want to fire strike all the time. This is one of them. If there's an enemy hog, you don't want to hook too much. You want to be able to put up a shield for his hook, and then you can fire strike. Because he, like, whenever I play hog against the Rhine, I'm always looking out for his fire strikes and counting to six. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hook. Because that's when he's gonna fire strike. I either get him or get a squishy. Either way, I get value. So you don't want to fire strike too much unless you know he doesn't have hook. So let's take a look at this. So you think it's at a meg. You want to protect him, right? Do that. And you hear that Symmetric get hooked. Now, that's not her, but as a tank, you need to help her out. So you swing, you do body block a little bit, but in the event that he was nanoed or you were really low, you'd want to like put your shield up to block that. There's no need for you to take those pellets into your face, right? So, it looked pretty good. There we go. In the hub. Nice. Your fire strikes aren't that bad. It's just the late batting is everything. It could always be better. So here, what I would have done, personally, whenever I'm in a situation, whenever I'm in a situation where I need to fire strike, I always look out for when I can fire strike and get at least 2 to 3 people. Right, so here I would have hopped a little to the left and see if I could pick off that Ash or at least get the turn with the Winston instead of going for just a single Winston, which really would have helped. He you already got the point. It's yours. Now we say you want to push it. Sit back. play up here, where the hog's at, right? You want to stay up there, force them to use cooldowns before they get to the point. Force them to use cooldowns before the fight even starts. That's how you win games and like fights. So hypothetically, let's say that you were here. Instead of this hog being able to hook your diva, he would have
Objective
hooked you,
lost.
and that would do like almost zero damage. And given the fact that your diva would have boosted up, matrixed you, um, you could have gone for a pin here, but the Reyna would have gotten you. But that's besides the point. You want to play up at the choke. You force them to use cooldowns, take it back. It's you don't lose at all if you do that. So you do the side pin, and you do the side back. That might just keep shooting. Fuck this. That's fine. That's something you gotta communicate with. You don't need 5 people here on Halo. You just need one. Everybody else push up. In this case, I would have left either my Ana or Mercy, preferably my Mercy, just because she can live towards me. She can get into the fight faster. So push up. Here would be really better for shot. If you get one or two, it's way hard to get. We should be pushing up. Choke your beat that bridge. Okay, so Bob's out. There's a lot of things you can do with Bob. Personally, when I hear Bob coming, my first instinct as Ryan is my thought process is how low is he? How low am I? How long is he gonna be there? How long can I survive with my shield, with my health? And given those answers, the best choice here would just pin him this way, right? You do have an Ana, so hopefully he gets slapped and y'all just leave him to it. He does. He gets away with it, so that's why. Okay, so now he's focused on me. Okay, I'm actually getting kind of nervous. Because, I mean, you should be able to survive. But that fair, I don't know, you might die here. Yeah. That's fine. So yeah, I would have just gone for a pin, put my shield up back up. That's what, you cancel Bob's ult, basically. So yeah. It's a good thing. Get back. Get in the fight start. Make sure we hit those swings. I'll show you couple things. Now, as Ryan, your hammer is it's very technical. You can do a lot of things with it without the game telling you. So let's say I'm here, right, and I miss a swing. I still have a chance to recover that, right? You see that? And it's the same with all the other characters, right? So I'm swinging. If I just do this, look at how much, I can hit them behind me. And that's just, whenever I'm playing the game, that's basically what I'm doing the whole time. If I swing, I do a full swing, right? And the more you do it, the easier it gets. At the beginning, it's gonna make you dizzy a little bit, but you'll get the technique down. So naturally, I'm just like this. It's very slow, very simple, right? And you can cover your entire perimeter. Right? Okay. So with that in mind, you can get a lot of value from that, right? So try to apply that into your games from now on. this fight, them winning this fight. Okay, so here I would have called out as Ryan, hey y'all, like my shield's low, play around the corner, don't even peek, right? Don't even peek. They got a hog hook, they got a pharmacy up here, as we know. Right? So your shield's low. They know that. They see that. They're taking advantage of that. Their calls right now is break grand shield, right? So push up a little bit, then you start backing up. You realize your shield's breaking, right? By then it's already too late. For your ult, right?
Allow me to repair the
Now
damage.
imagine this. Oh shoot. Yeah, imagine this. You instead of backing up and letting that feral come at you, you just block it with the shield. Everybody gets out, right? Put your shield up. Everybody gets out, right? They're pretty low, but your shield would have maintained them so that they can just walk over here and that's it. And you had a healing grove there too.
Allow me.
Advantage number two, having your shield here. That dynamite right there, it's so much value. Look at her ult charge. Where is she? There she is. Look at her ult charge. 50, two. She got like what? 7%? Close to 10.
Repair the damage.
And then hog. These are all things that could have been removed if that shit was that's easy to get it. If you just put that in your shield is more important than your life. If you lose your shield, you lose your life. You know what I'm saying? So try to get done. Good job hitting right in. Alright. Alright, back up. Man up, can't do much about that. If you're down, if it's a 5 or 6 and you're down, it's really hard to come back from that unless not accounting for all stuff. Alright, let's just see how it goes. Okay, you do have. There goes one. Here you want to communicate to your team, let's shatter. This is save your nade for me, save your dynamite, maybe even blossom. Right? Your ult is amazing, right? It stuns everybody for like 5 seconds, 6 seconds. They can't do anything about it. All they can do is just wait, right? Get there. I really just
Don't mess
that's not really your fault. And really just here you want to push up. Just press W. Play your leg around this light post. Force them to use cooldown before they get to that point.
this will heal you.
That's what it is. Get up. You can chat at this right now. That's fine. You got it. I'm charging. Actually, you get a she was really good. I don't know about that. There's two, right? You shoot really. It was a good shatter nonetheless. I probably would have done the same. Alright. You get two, yeah, you should be able to kill them by yourself. That's huge value. Alright, so you shatter. Okay. And you decide to pin. That's low-key kind issue. You should only pin under certain situations, and this is not one of them. Here, the Ash is still up, right? Actually, nah, pinning was pretty good, but personally, I wouldn't have. And it's just because of habits, right? So let's just push this. You pin it, you do end up getting that star? I don't know. Forgot. You don't, but that's fine because you got the Ash. But imagine if you just walked in swinging, right? That Tsar would have been like 25 HP by now. That Ash would have been dead if he just swung plus your charge, and you'd have your charge to like punish that player over there, or pin this hog or something, right? So whenever you shatter, especially against another Ryan, you wanna like my instinct, my thought process is like I shattered, but if he blocked it, he's gonna go for a counter shatter, right? That's why you don't press that charge button right away because if you hit shatter but you don't, if they block it, if you charge in, you're feeding it. It's a 5v6. But if you shatter, put your shield up, and then swing, you won the fight, right? If they counter shatter, that's enough time for you to like to block their shatter, right? So always for me, it's shatter, shield up, swing. But I've gotten to the point where I'm like I can recognize if I hit the shatter or not before I actually hit it. So the shield part is uh it's up for grabs for me, and I'm sure you can get there one day. It won't be that difficult after like 100 shatters. Okay, but this is fine. You got the Zard, I got slept. You got hands. You got first that. Call it all out. Yeah, yeah, that's not easy. Just stabilize it. Let's look for those fire strikes where it's at
Eyes on the bad guys.
very minimal margin. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff going on here. Let's see. Now, it's almost. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff going on here. Right now, I have the privilege of standing here, being able to pause this and think about it and talk about it. But in the heat of the moment, you just gotta back up. All right, your your back line is basically on fire. You're on fire. There's Bob coming in, but there are two bubbles out, so they don't have too much protection anymore. All right, you charge the Bob, which is fine. You could have gotten pinned by him and still would have walked out alive. You know, not really pinned, just knocked up, but you get it. Okay. And you die immediately. Alright, that's just because you were on the floor for like 2-3 seconds and Dusty's rewards, which is unfortunate because he could have comboed with them later on. Could have used them better. Okay. Alright, so here, yeah, I just slow down, wait for your team.
I cast this forth.
Look for some fire strikes here. Yeah. Nice one. You wanna walk up, make sure that you walk up. Here. I'll talk about it here in a bit. Okay, so yeah, just use that technique from forward backwards. You'll provide a lot more value. All right, let's keep watching. So that you don't get a headshot, right? You want to make your survivability chance as high as possible. So just move your head around.
There is still more
Dodge.
to my tale.
Alright. Okay. Okay, I'm sure your ding's at the mouse here now, but let's try to stay focused on the game.
60 seconds remaining.
Group up with me.
You get better healers fencing.
30 seconds remaining.
D was AP a little bit.
I will not give up the
Alright.
fight.
Charge. Alright, I'll get there as quickly as possible. Going for a flank, I like it, but
10
not
seconds.
not idea. I like it. Like the end. I will just got you third. Let's get
Double.
Oh wait, that was your team. Was also Alright, so you're just shield the
Score
third row.
0-3.
Don't let him get too much
Switching
damage on
sides.
Iron Team. So now,
Initiating match.
let's see.
Initiating match.
Well, that worked.
Ready for battle. Ready for battle.
Alright. So if you're playing at the right position, you should play up here at the statue a little bit. Alright. Especially in lower levels. Like once you hit gold and plat, you wanna hold over here, right? Because if you hold over here, they're just gonna punch you. But down here, it's not too common that they'll like
Defend objective A.
punish you as hard.
No need to mess
So yeah,
around.
just hold up there, force them to use cooldowns. And it's
Spotted.
Dude, gosh, let's get to your ass to watch out. Call of Duty to get
The power.
they use cooldowns. So back up. That's cool. Oh, it's unlucky. You gotta know when to
The
discard.
power of destruction.
But like, you sure this already have? They got. Look at how many critical abilities they have right now. Alright, they got. Which team are they? Well, they got Nade, Sleep, a Hook, Storm Arrows. Those are your critical abilities. Farah, she sucks, dude. She's gonna destroy you if you let her. Alright, so let's just watch this. Alright, so you decide to pin that target. If you did pin her, even if you didn't, where I would go from this point is from here to here. That's my objective. Because if I land here, it would have been like I would have thought about that on my way there, just because I've played so many hours of Ren. Because if I land there, they're just gonna punish me from over here, and your D.Va's feeding a little bit. Not gonna lie. Anyways, so here you want to land over here. That way, your your Zen can heal you up. You can walk back over here. You hold right back up, full HP, full shield. But instead, let's see how it goes. Right, pin here. Alright, that's our starts focusing. She's decently charged. And you die. Right. The only way you can avoid that, pinning that right there. That's fine, that's fine. Here's an interesting choice. Alright, you got two options. You can either go in and contest, right? A couple of seconds of contesting time, a couple of seconds that they won't have, or just back up a little bit. For me right now, yeah, you just disengage. Hopefully you don't go in, but if you do, yeah, so you disengage. Yeah.
Objective lost.
It's good. Alright, fair share.
Stop the payload.
Yeah, she got a lot of support. You would have got him. Let's start to play left play. Alright, so he pushed up. This also did the right thing of fair shake, or not fair shake, by throwing out dragon. So walk up. And look at this. As Ryan, recognize as a player, recognize where the ultimates are gonna go. And the way I like to play is I put myself in their shoes. I'm playing Ryan. I have my shield up. I'm looking at them. I'm looking in my head. I'm processing what they're seeing. They see a Ryan that's in front of their team. They see Ryan who could be punished if we throw a dragon. That's what I'm thinking, right? So here you would have two options. I you you'd recognize where the dragon's coming from and disengage from that. There's no way you can survive through that. And walk a little bit towards it. It's kind of unfortunate. But here you put your shield on. You can't do that, dude. Was it broken actually? Might have been broken. No, you still had he still have 460 HP that you could have still had. And then your whole team falls. That's alright. That's a good play.
You have my thanks.
That's a good play. That's a good play from the Hanzo. There's not much you can do about that other than like 180 or charge out. Your team nanning you or something. Something like that. You either have they either yeah. Okay, so let's talk about your shield a little bit. Now, the way you're playing right now, you're just putting shield up and you're pressing A and D, right? But you're forgetting the fact that you have 500 HP, right? So what you should be doing is, whenever you're backing up, just put your shield up and hold that momentum, and you'll be able to get back faster with most of your shield still intact, right? Just practice that, right? You can do it forward too, you know? Get your team across, get yourself across, take as little damage as possible while sustaining your shield. Okay. So, let's look at this. Let's talk about one thing that we haven't talked about yet. What's the plan here, right? Now, you're as just or above. Okay. You have Nano. You almost have Grav. Oh wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong team. You got Nano. You almost got a Shadow. You got Cold Lessons. You just above. You almost got Diva Bomb. What you'd want to communicate here is to just make a plan and stick to it. Here, I just tell my if he just there Bob, I'd tell my diva to throw Diva Bomb right after Bob exits, right? Because they're all gonna regroup back at the point. They hear Bob leaving, they want to get back to the point. They want to push, but your Diva Bomb's gonna separate them. You punish them wherever you can. So that's the plan. Let's see what you do. Bob's gonna rest. Push up. Mash up. Yeah. Here, your shield looks really low. You want it to have a recharge. Right? Why is recharge? Because if your shield drops down to 0, it's gonna take a lot longer than if it was just at even 1 HP. It would not take as long to recharge fully than if it was at 0. There's not much you could have done about that. Shield, which is what I'm seeing. You'll get that. You'll get that. You just like think about that. I gotta keep my shield up for as long as I can without it breaking. Okay. As Ran, here you have one of two decisions because you have Shatter. Decision number one is just put your shield up like you're doing, protect your team, or so you can put your shield up, protect your team from the damage that's coming in, or you can shatter them and protect them from the damage that would have come in. Here, I probably would have shattered. They got a high charge area with nano, and they got a fair here. I don't know where she's at. Where's she? She. Oh, she's at spawn. Okay. Okay, it's not too bad. Either way, I probably would have shattered here just because of that. Our high charges are so much faster. And if you could negate that, you win. See, now they would have used coalescence. He I probably wouldn't have gotten shattered the coalescence like right as it was coming out. So, but here it's still, if you shatter here, huge, amazing. Yeah, huge, huge. But imagine if you did that earlier. The second your team got out of the grab, instead of going backwards, they'd go forward with all their cooldowns, immediately ending the fight. Let's see if we, yeah, yeah. Oh, that was weird. That okay, yeah, yeah. And so back in the graph, you probably would have gotten three there, and the analytical, the Mora and the Czar. And Diva could have thrown a bomb